right, welcome back everybody. I'm Kalani, and this is a tutorial, an example of the manned scale. What is the manned scale? It's this scale. And what is that? That is the manned, it's also known as the raga, which is a collection of notes, different scale. These are flute finger diagrams, courtesy of Clint Goss, my flute harvest co-teacher. Also, you can see his example of the manned scale at Clint's Flutecast video, so go watch that. I'll leave a link below. So the manned scale is a major sounding scale for your minor kind of sounding Native American style flute. Those of you who play the flutes, and if you don't know, you're going to know in a second. Usually when we say I have an A flute, it means I have an A minor tonality flute, right? And the normal flute, the regular tuning kind of sounds like this. I just played the manned note in there. So it has a minor sound. This is a way to get your flute to play in a major tonality. So in this case, A major. So listen to this track. It's basically rooted in A. All right, so how do we do that? What kind of magic do we need? So we have a little bit different fingering. So I want to show you, there's a couple notes we're going to finger a little bit differently than the standard. So let's just review that right now. Let's go to the overhead view, and I'll show you the scale. Right now we're going to learn the manned scale, and for those of you who are blind or vision impaired, I'm going to describe the fingerings for you. We're starting with all holes covered. This is a 6-hole fingering flute, so we have 6 holes. The black holes are covered. The circles or empty holes are open. So let's start with all of our holes covered. 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. That's our root. In this case, that's an A. Now we're going to go to the 3rd degree of the scale next. We're skipping the 2nd degree, so we go straight to a C sharp. We're going to get to the C sharp by opening the 2nd hole up, keeping our bottom finger covered. So this is your naughty finger off the hole at the bottom. So that's our 3rd degree of the scale, a C sharp in this case. Now let's go 1, 3. I am exaggerating my finger movements to make it easier for you. I don't actually play flute this way. Let's go to the next degree of the scale. That's going to be the 4th degree of the scale. That's our 3rd note in the manned scale. Lift your bottom finger. So you've got 3 on the top covering plus 1, plus your index. Bottom 2 holes are open. So let's go 1, 3, 4. What's next? 5. Index comes up, top 3 holes are covered. Let's play 1, 3, 4, 5. Sounds like a song, right? Okay, what's next is the 6th degree, and in this case it's a sharp 6. So it's a little bit different fingering. Again, we're going to just lift our 3rd finger down, keeping the top 2 holes covered. So that's our 6th degree of the scale. 5th note in the manned scale. Let's go 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and let's finish it off with an octave. Also the 1, the root of the scale, and that is our 3rd finger down from the top. Top 2 holes open, bottom 3 holes open. Let's go all the way up from the bottom. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the top 1, top octave. Let's go down, starting at the octave, high note. Now I want you to notice there's a couple notes that are marked. Let me see if I can point to them. Here, 6th and the 4, there's a little dash below them. Hopefully you can see that. Actually, let's go here. Let's look at this. Look at, so 4 and 6 have a little dash below them, and that's because those fit with the 4 chord. All the rest of the notes are going to go with your 1 chord, in this case A major. The 4 chord is D major, and that comes up in for a little moment in this particular track. I'm going to point it out right now. Listen. A major, D, A, so we have A, and then D, and then A. Okay, so let's go back to the overhead view and the notation, and what we're going to do in this case, and this is good practice for you, is we're going to play the 1, 3, 5, and 1 notes on the 1 chord, on the A, and then we'll play the 4 and 6 notes around the 4 chord. Before we do that, let's review. What are our 4 and 6 notes? They're these 2 notes. So that's top 2 holes covered and then top 4 holes covered. I recommend you spend a little time practicing that. What are the rest of the notes? You can start at the bottom. You could do an exercise like this. And then if you want to combine that, 4 chord, 1 chord, by the way, there's another scale which we're not focusing on. I just wanted to point it out, and that's this scale. That's called the unmanned scale. All right, sorry. I didn't mean to go into mansplaining. All right, I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit and just follow along. I'll show you the overhead view. Look at the scale for reference, but notice I'm focusing on the major chord, the A chord notes, not acorn notes, the A chord notes for while those are playing, and then I'll go to the 4 chord notes, the 4 and the 6, with the ones with the line for that brief moment and see what that is like. And then I'm going to leave some spaces so you can practice along. If you have an A flute with you and you're watching this video, you can play along. All right, so let's do that right now. trade. All right, how was that? You got, stop. How was that? Hopefully you guys are getting the hang of it. You know, of course, rewind, repeat, click back on the video as many times as you need to. If you found that enjoyable and you'd like to do more playing along, live via Zoom or with some play along, flute along videos that I have, you can see me and you can get a lot more live instruction, meet other flute people at our Patreon site, patreon.com/Kalani. We have a thing called Zoom Flute Alongs. Hold on. Zoom Flute Alongs. Yeah, on our Patreon. Zoom Flute Alongs are a Zoom-based flute along. Pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? And we focus on different things like the man scale or other kinds of scales or different rhythms and it's a little bit of show and tell, mostly playing. And I have notation, I have tips, all kinds of stuff for you over there. So join us at patreon.com/Kalani if you'd like to connect with the flute community a little bit more and me as well. If you can put up with some dad jokes, some bad puns, but good music, then I think you'll be in the right place. All right, you guys. I also have some play-alongs for the man scale over there now at patreon.com/Kalani. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, leave a helpful thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, go see Clint Goss's Flutecast video on the man scale for more, and maybe see us at Flute Harvest sometime. Go to fluteharvest.com to find out more about that event live in Southern California. All right, I'm Kalani. See you guys soon. Happy fluting.